What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Danganronpa 2. It's time to figure out who done it. 2 deaths, 1 blackened. We need to figure out quite a lot of things. 1, why was there a copycat murder between the movie and what actually happened? The despair disease is still a mystery. I don't think we'll ever solve that one because it was Monokuma's doing. But the thing is, the main thing we need to figure out. Ibuki hung herself, but how did Hiyoko die? And that's what we're going to find out. Now, this being a trial that's way overly complicated and has way too many things to keep track of, there's a couple skills I would suggest you use. Lost in Thought. If you can manage to get lost in thought, you will be golden for this. This will give you more time to think over the statements during non-stop debates. And for the class trial in general, you will get slightly more time for everything. Another thing... What was the other one? There we go. Tasting. This is what you get from Teru Teru when you max his social link. If you can get tasting, it reduces an argument to 3 statements or less. If you're having trouble finding out the correct statement, or a truth bullet, or a truth blade, whichever situation you're in, there will only be 3 to choose from. So it lowers the amount of choices that you can make, which is good. I've got everything ready. Let me just check to see if Monami has anything that I can buy. I'm very curious to see. Monami, what do you got for me? I don't have many skill points left to use. Well, let's see what we can get. Influence gauge. No, I won't need that. Focus gauge. I never end up using that. More recovery. Downshift and upshift. Aiming speed. No, I don't think we need that. Focus gauge. If I was using it, I would definitely use that. Recovery. Yeah, a lot of these are just, like, recovery items. I don't really need it. That one might be good. Oh, yes! Let's do this. At this point of the game, buy vocabulary. Because when we get to the final showdown between you and the Blackened themselves, the panic time action, there are going to be so many statements to shoot. And having this will be very helpful to you. Sharpness increased by 2. You know what? I'll actually get that too. Go figure. I'm actually finding things to use here. Increases max speed for logic dive. Not bad. And these are just for logic dive. What is fine sword? Sharpness to 5? Well, shoot. Why didn't I read that first? I'm eventually going to get all of these, but thought I might as well get it. Well, great. Let me shift around my skills real quick. I think I should mention right now that if you equip Fine Sword, you cannot equip Excellent Blade. So, basically, it overrides the smaller of the two. And let's see, if I were to unequip that and equip Excellent Blade, yeah, you can't, like, double the sharpness, or, in this case... Wow, increase it by 3. Alright, we're going Fine Sword, and I've still got 5 skill points left to spare, but I don't think I want anything else, because it would kind of screw everything up. I think we're ready. Hope you all wrote notes. Let's do this. Let's find out who done it for the murder of Ibuki Miyota and Hiyoko Saionji.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the Blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the Blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I hear that!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
I think that comes with your regular personality, Akane.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Ooh, Kazuichi! She's gonna kick your ass!
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, empty head, nothing to worry about.
Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Or we can go with that. Good answer, Hajime.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments.
That's a good point.
Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
I kind of figured this was going to happen.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was
The worst thing ever.
a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Panicked.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought, but the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let that slide either.
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
Please don't. We've already had a misunderstanding in this chapter.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
Truly gruesome sight.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
I kinda figured you would, but how about Akane?
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who... Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
I knew you were gonna bring this up. Damn it! Somebody was going to have a trust issue with me being the only one who witnessed it. I knew it!
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
He's got a point.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Alright, you want proof? I can give you proof. I hope. definitely making it more interesting, if anything. He's got us in a corner, Hajime. We have to explain why it can't be us. Yep. Well, I'm sure we can figure this out. I can think of one thing that might be useful to us. Let's see if that'll work.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Did you see that piece of white noise that said, "I'm a witch"? I love it. Actually, Hajime, there is a contradiction. I'm surprised you didn't catch it. It happened right near the very end. And I know everybody's accusing you, which kind of goes without saying. Thanks a lot for that, Nagito. You really didn't have to throw me under the bus like that. No, we don't have to agree with that. My testimony is clearly not a lie.
That would also be a lie.
I'm actually going to speed this up. I actually love Nagito when it comes to the class trials because he just destroys any testimony you might have.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
Did I kill both of them? I don't think so. But, Nagito, how did I do that? I missed! Are you kidding? That was a cool line and everything, and you had to screw me!
No, that's wrong!
There!
I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
I was the smart one!
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
You ass!
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it.
So you just wanted to confirm that to everybody else.
Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
You didn't have to do it like that, man.
It also provides a good warm-up.
Oh, you are gonna make this interesting.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
Please and thank you.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
That's up for debate.
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
No, unless it was assisted suicide.
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
Not long enough to commit murder and tape somebody onto a pillar, that's for sure.
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
Sounds about right.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
No, there is no way.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
Okay.
What do you mean, a closed room?
No, I see where you're going with this. You're the one that found it.
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time.
I agree with that. Let's see where this goes.
And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Immediately tossed under the bus.
Me too?
Oh yeah, you weren't there.
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
Again, I say, you weren't there.
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
I was actually wondering if somebody was gonna bring it up. The mastermind from the hospital bed.
Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
Again, I agree with that. I'd hate to do this to you, Sonia and Kazuichi, but you need to be able to defend yourself.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
Unfortunately, this is just regular courtroom talk. You have no alibi. You have to be able to defend yourself when being accused of murder. If you've got an explanation as to why you weren't there or why it couldn't possibly be you, then we'll let you go. But for now, we need to hear it from you.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That is a good tactic, to be honest. Just barge in and become one of the crowd. I actually like that. I mean, I'm not going to go out and commit a murder anytime soon. But hey, from the inside, is that possible?
No, that's wrong.
I mean, clearly we saw it was possible, but